Not all of the saints been able to remain strong. Sometimes just the threat of rain is enough to throw some of us off. We have asked if you take your notes out. I'll see if I can do a little teaching this morning. God gave this to me, and I believe that it's certainly applicable for His church and for His people. I just want to share with you more this morning from a real quick thought. Maybe you knew it, maybe you don't know it, but just in case, I want you to know that God is in complete control.
Amen. Yes, yes, sir.
To the church of God this morning, God is in complete control. Would you grab your neighbor by the hand, look your neighbor in the eye? Maybe they didn't get it. Grab the person next to you. Amen. If they don't look at you, make them look at you. Amen. Amen. God is in complete control.
What you worried about?
Amen. God bless you. Glad you got it. Glad you got it. You don't get anything else out of this message this morning. You need to leave out of here knowing that God is in complete control. I care not how old you are or how young you are. God is sovereign. He neither suffers from a shortage of energy nor power. He is in complete control. Whether you believe it or whether you don't believe it, He's still in control. I want to do one last thing. Did everyone receive a rock when you came in this morning? Everyone get a little rock? Amen. Everybody got to hold up your rock. Hold up your rock. I want to see your rock. Amen. If you didn't get a rock, everybody put you there. If you didn't get a rock, put your hands down. If you didn't get a rock, if you did not get a rock, hold up your hand. We're going to get you a rock. Amen. We're going to get you a rock. Amen. Amen. Let's move quickly. Let's move quickly. Amen. Lord, put your hands down, Brother Richard. You got your stone. Amen. There's a difference. There's a difference. There is a difference. Stay with me this morning. Stay with me. See if we can get you out of here in time. God has given me this little message this morning. And Jesus must have known. Just got through dealing with this subject, Sermon on the Mount. He's about to draw to a conclusion. He's talking to people of God about money. Just got through covering a tremendous lesson on money so that the people of God would have the right perspective about money. And then he comes full circle and he lays out an outline to the people of God, because it's almost like God knew in His Word that one of the greatest struggles that we would have as a people down here on this earth, other than dealing with each other, was in the area of finances. And then not only that, but God knew that centered around that we would have a whole lot of anxieties, a whole lot of problems. And God, in His infinite wisdom, stood flat-footed and He says, listen, I want you to understand that you can't go through life worrying. You cannot go through life worrying. Now, the amazing thing to me, good to see you, Sister Catherine, amen. God bless you. Seeing you this morning lets me know God does answer prayers. Amen. Glad to see you back. Amen. But worrying. And so God had me speak to the church this morning about worry. Now, you may not believe it, but there are a lot of us who are here this morning who walked in here really completely stressed out. We have things that have been on our minds, that have been on our hearts, that are literally, we have turned it over and over and over and over again, and we still got it. And just survey the room real quickly, because see, believe it or not, there's some people in here, and I passed out a rock this morning, and I wanted to draw and paint an illustration of what worry really looks like. Now, believe it or not, each and every one of us has a different rock in here, amen? And that rock is a different size, it's a different weight class, but nevertheless, each of us has a rock. Now, to look around here, you probably cannot tell that people have rocks. You cannot tell that people are going through things. You cannot necessarily tell that people are dealing with some things. But there are a few of us, believe it or not, that have what I call some big rocks. Where are y'all? I gave y'all stones this morning. And just to kind of give you an idea, y'all stand up this morning. If you came in here with your stones, with your big rocks, amen. And it's pretty easy to identify people that have big rocks in their lives, amen? Because the truth of the matter is, when you have a big rock, amen, your countenance is as such that everybody knows that you got something heavy on your mind. Are y'all praying with me? And so it's easy to identify those people who have big problems. But y'all go ahead and sit down. But the hardest thing to figure out is those people that are walking around with those little rocks, amen? But can I tell you that big rocks didn't start out being big rocks? They first were little small rocks, amen? Little small rocks that we hid when we came to the house of God. Little small rocks that we hid in our pockets, and we just dealt with them day in, day out, and picked them up in the morning and took them home with you at night. Those little small rocks, those of you who have small rocks, hold up your little small rock. Amen. Now that serves as the vast majority of the church of God. But everybody has a rock of some sort. But I found out, my brothers and sisters, that it's not even the small rocks. It's not even those small rocks that get to us as believers. It's not even those little small rocks that troubles. What really, really troubles us are those little pebbles.
That's it, Pastor. Yeah.
In your life. And I know some of you all are saying, yeah, Pastor, I can handle that. I really could. That ain't no problem for me. I can handle it. Really? Well, it all depends on where this pebble is. Yeah. See, you can put this pebble in your pocket and it's probably not too much of a problem for you. But this same pebble, strategically placed in your shoe, will produce a limp in your life. But I want you to know that the God we serve this morning is not only concerned about your big rocks. He's not only concerned about your little small size rock, but he's even concerned about the pebbles in your life. But I want you to understand that God doesn't bring rocks in your life. We need to understand where these come from, where these agitations of life literally come from. And Jesus took a moment to really teach the beloved that, trust me, you're going to have some rocks in your life. You may not have them today. You might have them tomorrow. But trust me, you're going to have something that causes you to worry, to stress out, and to think about a few things. So I just want to share with you this morning a few things that the Lord allowed me to write down. But I've shared this with you before concerning worry. And for those of you who really don't believe me, but worry produces stress and it produces anxiety that eventually will break you down. Now you need to hear me. You really, really need to hear me. I awakened this morning with the sad news that one of our ecclesiastical brothers, Dr. Warren, recently discovered his son having committed suicide. Dr. Rick Warren, you who wrote one of the world's best-selling books, Purpose Driven Life, A book that has transformed millions of people across the world, but yet close to home. His only son, one of his sons, could find very little value in his life, culminating in him taking his own life. Now, beloved, I need to tell you that people don't just simply wake up every day and just on a moment's notice and a whim decide that I'm going to kill myself. That type of thing, psychologists will tell you many times, is turned over into a person's head over and over and over and over again. And beloved, that's one of the reasons that church is so important. Because when we come into the house of God, we get a chance to get renewed. We get a chance to become revived. We get a chance to spend some time with the person who can handle the weights of our lives. But I need to tell you this morning that these unseen worries are indeed the real sources. Listen when I tell you this. These are the real sources to our headaches. Anybody had a headache this week? They're the real sources to your backaches. Anybody had a backache this week? They're the real sources to your heartaches and even your belly aches. Stress and worry can produce everything, listen to me now, from obesity to obscenity, from constipation to mental irritations, from impatience to impotence. Stress will create knots in your stomachs. They will cause you to toss and turn all night long. Worry will cause your blood pressure to go up. It will cause your morale to actually go down. It will make your temper short and your days long. I'm talking about worry, y'all. It will cause you indigestion, irritation, chest pains, and muscle strain. I'm talking about worry, y'all. Some of y'all thought I was talking about people, them too, but I'm talking about worry. And please understand that there is a difference now between worry and concern. See, worry will paralyze you. Worry will immobilize you. Worry will bring you to the point of nothingness. Concern, on the other hand, moves us to the point of action.